Zambi, a chance he was not about to pass up. Matanovic, 1-0 Freiburg. Blistering start by the club from Breisgau. Eggestein towards Matanovic. Well, a shot after 15 seconds, a goal after 52. Some start from Matanovic in Freiburg tonight. This is Jesper Dahland. Back to goalkeeper Florian Kastenmeier. Matthias Zimmermann. This ball clipped in. It's met there by Lienhardt, who was sent off at the weekend against Leverkusen. His first Freiburg red card. For Markus Anfang, it's been a case of 2 games and 2 losses so far in his brief time as Daniel Thune's successor here. Came in October the 5th as the replacement coach. Here's Matanovic, the head bester. Matanovic still here for Freiburg, nothing given. Muslia back to Kastenmeier. It's Matthias Zimmermann. Forward by Breithaupt. That's Appelkamp. Schmidt. For Fortuna, really the worst start they could have imagined here. Their first home cup tie for 6 years. A goal down a minute in. Breithaupt for Zimmermann. Had Rasmussen the target here, the young Dane. And caught there by Günther. Free kick for Fortuna Düsseldorf in a good area. And a yellow card in Günther's landmark match 4 minutes in. He was late there, Christian Günther. His debut against Greuther Fürth in the Bundesliga 13 years ago in December. Today match 440 to equal Andreas Zayer's club record for games played for Freiburg. One club man. In the books 19 years, man and boy. Muslia on this dead ball with Rasmussen. It's Muslia's ball in and a header. The top of the bar here from Oberdorf. Freiburg's first round tie was making fairly light work of 4th tier Sportfreunde Lotte 2-0 back in August. Düsseldorf's was a rather more hard-fought game, a win away to 3rd tier Schweinfurt. They won that 4-2, only a late goal to seal that win with a 4th before the end to wrap the tie up, but it's certainly for Fortuna tonight a very slow start to the game. This is Niklas Beste. Kenneth Schmidt played 13 times in Freiburg's first team. His first game was a game with Juventus in the Europa League. Now they're in again here. It's Grifo! They're lightning tonight, Freiburg. Now Matanovic provided for Grifo to make it 2. Grifo's 99th Freiburg goal, and 6 minutes in here, already 1 foot firmly in the last 16. Matanovic with the assist here for Vincenzo Grifo. And Fortuna in disarray here, 2 down on the ropes, 6 minutes in. It could be a lot.
But his team will also play for him tonight, I'm pretty sure. Gnabry trying to slip that through. Now Harry Kane. Olise. Harry Kane, and very, very nearly the opening goal from Luis Diaz. Yeah, well done there over that right wing. Unfortunately, unusual at least, how Olise went to his right foot, and then that cross was really butter soft. I think Luis Diaz was surprised that Harry Kane didn't get to that ball.
It was just a little too high for Kane, and it dropped a little too early for Luis Diaz.
Yeah, he was sure that this man won't let this ball through, and that's why Luis Diaz was surprised in the end.
Luis Diaz and Harry Kane have played the last 14 games already. The only two players to have been in the starting lineup over those 14 games in all competitions.
And here comes quarterback Harry Kane back again. This is what he likes to do, fall deep in midfield, collect those balls, and then play these incredible long distance passes where he usually finds a teammate. In this case, he didn't.
Sticking with Ron Robert Seeler as their cup goalkeeper rather than Marvin Schweber. He does have a lot of experience.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he also repped the country a couple of times. He is an experienced goalkeeper, and you see it more often now that clubs do this to share a little bit of the load and to really give to every goalkeeper, to every player in the team, some playing time.
Giving it straight back there. And of course, he, like Manuel Neuer, were part of the 2014 World Cup winning squad. Neuer rested this evening, not even in the squad. Sven Ulreich is the reserve keeper. Alphonso Davies, Jamal Musiala. Well, I said Manuel Neuer rested. He's suspended still, of course, on the red card he got at the end of last season. He'll be able to play in the third round should they get through this evening.
But that will give him some rest, so you're absolutely right. He is resting at least.
Whether he wants to or not. Joel Schmid. It's gone out for a corner. That will go down well. Although Köln haven't scored from a corner yet this season.
But of course, set pieces is one way to bring it to your opponent, and of course it keeps the ball away from your own goal for a little bit of time, gives you time to rest and regroup and maybe do something here.
Maris Bulters in there. Went over the top of Martel. Shoot, they said, and shoot he did. Isak Johannesson testing the gloves of the former Köln goalkeeper, Jonas Rubik.
Yeah, I mean, that ball was probably going to go hit the crossbar or even above that, but it was a good try, and rather safe than sorry is what Jonas Ornik thought. After the clearance of Jonathan Tah, that ball only got as far as Johannesson.
This time the defensive header goes all the way back out. It's a decent ball in as well. Acher got his head to it. Christopher Lund trying to find Almada. There was a free kick, and Almada's collided with Lund.
Caught some friendly fire there. But we talked about it, how this is his game. He wants to attack the situation. He wants to stay in the situation. And he thought he might get to that ball there.
And then crunched into one another. But this is why he's an instant hit with the fans as well. That commitment, the energy to the cause.
Yeah, the energy that he brings onto the pitch in every of these situations is exactly the right one to get this crowd going.
Quite as expected.
Yeah, I mean, this last 5 minutes or so, it's a good spell of Cologne. They created some momentum. They had this chance. They had a a set piece or two, and this is what they have to do. Of course, Bayern will have the possession advantage overall, and they will create their chances, but you have to get these situations, those phases during the game where you can worry them a little bit.
Well, Vincent Kompany has rotated a bit, but the thing is with Bayern and their squad, it doesn't actually feel like they've rotated much at all, because it's like for like players virtually. Yeah,
there are some big names in the squad, but it's not as deep as you might think. So there is a lot of young talent on the bench. I mean, we talked about, of course, Leonard Karl a little bit. Tom Bischoff is there, but Wisdom Mike is there, even younger than that. So there are some young players as well, but we still have a handful of these Goretzkas, those Kims, those Jacksons and Guerreros, you name it.
And a couple of Gnabry's just to fill out the squad.
Yeah, but he's on the pitch. He was missing in the Klassiker. He's back now because he also is one of the players of the season so far for Bayern Munich.
3 assists and 3 goals. So far this season. Hooked away. That's a sensible pass, as is that, but it just needed a little bit more weight. There's a big challenge gone in there on Ragnar. The fans saw it, but it might have happened behind the referee. There is no video assistant referee in this round of the DFB-Pokal. So play continues. Is back up on his feet. The crowd are furious. Lima. Olise does well, but that ball went out play.
Yeah, this is something, of course, that we and the crowd has to have in mind. Unfortunately, that pass wasn't long enough, and then it's that clearance of Jonathan Tah, but this slippy ground, he slides into the legs of Ache, but he played that ball clearly. It wasn't really a foul situation, but there is no VAR. So every decision that is made or not being made is as it stands. Yeah, Lukas Kwasniok is furious on the sideline. This having a discussion with the fourth official, Dr. Mohamed Brown.
It's a lovely turn from Meccano, but we've seen this so often, Patrick. The underdogs, if you will, I'm sure Köln won't appreciate me saying that, but they do well, but they've got to keep on doing well. They've got to press their advantage. When they get these corners, when they get these shots, they have to put them in against Bayern, because Bayern will be relentless at the other end.
That's absolutely true. Yes, you can, really use that energy in the beginning of the game, but you have to reward yourself in these situations, because Bayern will come and they will attack.
Johannsson's corner. Oh, another risky moment there. A nervy moment for Urbik. He played 11 competitive games for Köln. Made a few stops, some of them more complicated than that one. That's going to go over Luis Diaz's head. And Köln have the ball again. They need to keep this pressure up if they're going to do something against the record DFB-Pokal winners.
Yeah, that's a good header there from Ache. I thought maybe Urbik could have saved that ball and kept it, but he went safe, just reacting to the situation. A little more into the corner, and that would be the lead for Cologne. But you're absolutely right. Keep that pressure going, but you have to convert. You have to do something with it. Otherwise, Bayern is coming back, and they're good at it.
You saw the look on Vincent Kompany's face there. Looking just a little bit perturbed.
Yeah, I would again use the term worried, and this is exactly what you want to do. You want to ask them the right questions, Bayern Munich. You want to ask them the right questions, so they have to think a little more than just to enjoy this game. And this is what's happening at the moment. We saw a lot of loose passes so far, especially from Upamecano. So apply some more pressure there, and maybe you will get something out of it.
The last cup meeting was back in 2003. It finished 8-0 to Bayern. 2 goals from a certain youngster, Bastian Schweinsteiger. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I sure do, actually. Yeah, spent some time.
His first two senior goals they were. And Now Gnabry, not afraid to try his luck. He does have the skills to pull off those sort of shots.
He does, and he of course has the confidence, especially with the kind of season he has so far. As you mentioned, 3-3. Had to sit out for the big game, the Klassiker, but is back now for this cup clash against Cologne. And of course he would like to score for his team on his comeback.
I'm noticing that Köln are not playing it out the back. Long ball every time from the goal kick. That's a great header. A little slip from Bulta. But that's the plan, obviously.
That is the plan behind it. If you have the physicality of a player like Ache up front, you have to utilize, you have to use that, and of course Bulta as well.
Bulta's got a great header, or heading technique. Now talking about technique, there's Diaz. Harry Kane just wide of the far post there. That was so close for the England captain.
Usually these are the situations that especially Harry Kane of course uses. It's good stuff of Luis Diaz. He will get a shot off here that is saved by Zieler. That clearance though is a little hectic, and suddenly Harry Kane is absolutely free at center. You can't lose sight of Harry Kane, not 1 second, because otherwise he will do a little better than he just did.
Another big jump from him. He's done really well. The last couple of headers have been won. Jonathan Tah. And the quick release from Urbik. Very Manuel Neuer style, actually.
It helps if you train closely. Probably his idol as well at some point in his career.
Bayern have been in this competition every year since 1965. They've won it 20 times. Had it all their own way recently. The second round has been a bit of a stumbling block for them. Over the last 5 seasons, they've been ejected 3 times. And they've just got an amazing record. They've got to the second round in every single year since the turn of the millennium in 2000. The only club to do so. That's 26 seasons now.
I mean, we're still talking about Bayern Munich, and there's a lot that this club has achieved over the years.
We see Lima, they're getting a little bit more purchase into the hands of Robert Zieler. Another gently cushioned header this time from Harry Kane.
Yeah, again over that right wing. This time it's Lima getting that soft cross up, and it's a little bit, it's not a deflection, it's the try to clear the situation for Sablonson, and then it's Harry Kane again, surprised maybe by that opening, by that option that he got.
Well, Eric Martel has dropped back into the back line. They've done that before Timo Rubers' injury, but who is really trying to take care of Harry Kane? Is it Martel's job? He seems to be the man closest to him, but he's not the tallest.
I don't think it's a one-man job, but of course, if Harry Kane plays the position that he's been marked from the start, then it is, or it might be, Martel and Sablonson. But he moves around so much, and he steals away from close guarding, that it's really hard to tell for the defenders who's responsible at the moment.
Olise looks up. And that shot won't trouble Robert Zieler. Olise not too happy with the decision. He thought he might have had a corner there. But Kwasniok has been absolutely frenetic on the touchline. There's lots going on in terms of coaching.
I can't imagine he's kind of thinking the same, or thinking about the same things we are talking about. Who has to guard Harry Kane and how do you do it best? He's trying to just shift around and tell his players, okay, you have to put 1 in front, 2 in the back of Harry Kane, and let's try from there. But he's signaling heavily, and he's taking off his jacket because he's really heated up at the sideline.
An easy one to gather for Robert Zieler. course, a side who, at the beginning of the Bundesliga, were very dominant. They've been to the final 10 times. Won it 4 times as well, but not recently.
There are some nice pictures of cup successes or successes overall in the tunnel downstairs where the players come out. But these are all pictures, not all in black and white, but it's been from times long ago.
These two sides actually met in the final in 1971. Bayern won 2-1 in extra time. And this is the 9th. Contemplative, chewing a few things over. I wasn't really too aware that he won that ball. Tom Kraus wins the throw. Takes the throw now, Eric Martel. Seela makes himself available. Be that long ball again, looking for Ragnar Ache.
But it had an effect already. You can see, usually, I mean, Upamecano and Tar, they are so strong with these high ball situations, but they are not as, let's say, confident. So every time this ball is getting into that area, they just want to get it as far away as possible, because they know if Ache is somewhere near, we might lose this challenge.
That's nice passing, really good. They've gone for a first time pass into the centre towards Ragnar Ache and Said Al-Mala. That's part of this new concept that Köln have been using. Really zippy passes. Now he's onside. Can he get a shot? Oh, he can, but he didn't do as well as he wanted to there. Jakub Kaminski on loan from Wolfsburg. Knows he should have done better there. He didn't contact the ball with everything he had.
Good job there of Köln, keeping that ball alive and not just being hectic and trying to get out of that pressure.
When you compare the side that went down to Bundesliga 2 a couple of seasons back, this is a completely a rewrite, really.
It is a rewrite, and there's more confidence in that team, in every player it seems. It's a good mixture.
Olise beaten to the ball by Christopher Lund in front of the Zud. Some of the shots and possession figures, as you can tell, it's a little hot down there. Michael Olise has taken off his undershirt, so he's building up a head of steam.
Yet again, we could discuss now, why is it penalizable if you do it while you're cheering, but it's okay when you do it during, I mean, but that's for another time, Phil.
Oh, the can is open and worms everywhere, but the corner goes in and comes straight out again. Ragnar Ache has been winning a lot of headers today already.
He is strong in the air and on the pitch, on the ground as well.
Kaminski's fast, but he's not quite that fast. A very good point raised by Patrick Obermoyela. That one's got an awkward bounce to it, but it was worth going for. Saw that Erbeck was off his line, Bulter,
but it was really far out, and
if you don't shoot,
you can't score. Yeah, I know, that's true. It
is a very interesting point. You've got me thinking about it now. I don't know what everyone else thinks about that. Yeah, you take it off because you're too hot, but if you'd have scored a goal and took it off, you got a yellow card.
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't penalise neither of the situations, and that's my point. I mean, just let players celebrate. It won't take long for them to put it back on, so why?
Not in this weather. Olise. Kane. Great first time ball from Kane, and good defensive header too. Son.
That's good stuff, and the crowd likes it. This is what you have to do. I mean, there was this spell of Cologne. Now they're on the other hand having to suffer, having to defend against Bayern's pressure.
Nearly half an hour gone. Kimmich's ball. Ragnar's header. That was well done.
That's a good ball.
It is a great ball for Johannesson to chase. Bayern have to deal with this week in, week out. Every side raises their game when they play the record cup winners or record champions.
Yeah, but of course, especially in the cup.
There's an appeal there for a handball.
Once again, there's no VAR, so we won't have these kind of late call situations, these overturned decisions. Listen to the crowd now.
Needed a better cross. Tidied up by Martel. There's a foul and there is a free kick opportunity. Bayern München, the tightest defence in the Bundesliga this season so far. Goals are really hard to come by when you're playing them.
You have to work hard. It's again Harry Kane helping out in defense, because offensively there's not much going for him so far in this game. But we know that he likes to do this, steal away, sit deep, help defending, and then create or go from there. But this time he only created this free kick for Cologne.
Nicely curled in. Big block. Big block there for Bayern. They're certainly not having it all their own way this evening so far. Köln win it back. It's a deep ball. Oh, Sayed Al-Mala wanted to shoot. Wants the crowd behind him. Well, he's got that.
That was a great effort here by Cologne. In the end, with this chance, Al-Mala trying to get that ball back in front. Here's that situation before where it's Tar's header that saves Orbik maybe from an awkward situation.
Son. It's in! And it's Maha who has scored! He hasn't scored for Köln in the Bundesliga, but my goodness, he might just have scored a massive goal for them in the DFB-Pokal. That's lit up the Südkurve.
Corner that was as well, we have to say. It's great stuff, and we know how good Batmya is in the air. We talked about it already. He wins again another challenge, this time against Upamecano for the opening goal of Cologne, for the opening goal of this cup banger tonight.
Now the pressure will be on, because Bayern will not sit back at all. But so far, Köln's tactics have seen them keep Bayern not only at bay, but they've managed a goal against them. That's something that every side can do so far this season.
what a story though this is. I mean, of course Cologne is the underdog, not just with the kind of season or because of the kind of season Bayern is having, but that's just a newly promoted team. But if you play in this venue with this crowd in the back, and if you have a little bit of confidence because that season is working okay for you so far, then you can produce these kind of games.
So we're half an hour in. Do Köln start playing for time now, or is it too early?
I mean, someone will be down there and say, stop the count, stop it now. But nope, we're still far from that. There's still about an hour left of football before.
Two sides that are both got through the last round with late goals, and in Köln's case, the latest goals ever. Two goals in time added on. I think it was something like the 96th and 98th minute. It was an incredible turnaround for them against Jan Regensburg. Bayern as well took their time to beat Wiesbaden. Late winner for them. So this game not over by a long chalk, that's for sure. Full of confidence now, wins another corner. Köln hadn't scored from a corner this season, and Bayern hadn't conceded from any that they've had in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, but this is the cup, and we always say it, and it kind of sounds like, you know, something that you just say, that you just want to be true or just want to happen. But the cup has its own rules. Things are different in the DFB-Pokal.
Johansson, another corner. Flag goes up. There's an offside situation there as well.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, almost 3 men there in offside, and 2 in that area where the ball was played to, so right decision.
Jonas Orberg was champion last season. He moved before the end of the season. Köln, of course, was still in Bundesliga 2 at that time. As mentioned, he only played 11 games for them. He spent 13 years here, his young years.
It was a strange situation. I think he just lost his place as a starting keeper for Cologne, and just after that got signed from Bayern and went. Surprising for many, but he is a good goalkeeper, and he's a goalkeeping talent still, we have to say. So
it's the first time Bayern have been behind in their first 14 games of the season. But will they stay behind? Most people thinking probably not. Here they come, and there they are. It's Luis Fernando Diaz who scores to make it 1-1. Köln with not too long to enjoy their lead. A classic piece of Bayern passing opened them up.
yeah, and it's a fast break that Köln is caught with. I mean, this is way too easy actually for Lima to walk all the pitch. Oh, we have to say this is gonna be. Oh no, there's no VAR. I tripped over my own foot right here. There is no VAR, otherwise this situation probably would have come back. Luis Diaz was offside when that shot was taken from Stanisic, but the linesman missed it, and that's why this goal is going to stand. But anyways, it was way too easy for Lima to walk all over the pitch to find Stanisic, who was all open, and getting that shot off. And then Luis Diaz, who was left alone at center from 5 meters out. No hard job for him.
Lima is free. That's who they were looking for there.
Cologne now has to find that same energy that they had 10 minutes ago, where they was just overloading Bayern a little bit.
Man to watch much this half. Just scored a goal, 3 shots, one of them counting. Pass completion's pretty high too, and all of a sudden this game's just swung back Bayern's way.
Now that's how fast it can be, and especially if you play Bayern Munich, you might think you have the edge and then they just turn it up a little more. They just have these kind of moments where they can create.
Kane, still Kane, oh, Harry Kane! What masterful skill from Harry Kane! He turned, picked his spot, and just put the ball there. It's what he's paid to do, it's what he loves to do. And in the space of just a couple of minutes, Bayern have turned this game around.
Yeah, this is a terrible, terrible spell for Köln so far. Let's see it from the start here. Again, the right wing. This is where probably everything happened so far for Bayern, and this is a very good pass from Elise. No offside because Martel just sits a little too deep there at center. It's not even Martel actually, it's Schmid who sits deep. Martel is in that situation, but the awareness of Harry Kane to turn the other way and then curl it in with the left foot, next level.
Absolutely world class from Harry Kane. What a goal and what a smile on his face.
It's a little unfortunate, of course, that first goal shouldn't have been one since Luis Diaz wasn't offside, but that second goal was just good.
Well, there is a growing call for VAR in the first couple of rounds of the Cup. Olise having words with the referee.
And of course, the fans of Cologne would have thought this could have easily been a yellow card. But it wasn't really much there, just a push, a late push into Lund from Olise.
Luis Diaz losing his footing. Out from Kaminsky, now Lund, Syed Al-Mala. Been a little quieter since he got his yellow card. It's nicely done by Kane and a great pass for Luis Diaz to run onto. Diaz just loves to attack, and Kimmich with a difficult ball to control and get a shot on target. But he appreciated the thought from his teammate. Köln will want to regroup at half-time. That spin and kick from Harry Kane, the mark of a master tradesman. Brilliantly engineered goal by himself. His header. Luis Diaz, after scoring 5 in the Bundesliga and 1 each in the Champions League and the Super Cup, has now scored in the DFB-Pokal for the first time. He's certainly enjoying himself since he arrived from Liverpool. Köln need to lift themselves for the second half, just about 3 or 4 minutes away, but they can't take their eye off the ball for 1 second. Narrowly beaten by Dortmund at the weekend. central linchpin for Bayern. That's going to skip away from Olise. Contract extension recently. Vincent Kompany very happy at Bayern, and Bayern very happy with him. It's keeping up that dominance, keeping up those victories. This could be one of those seasons where they go through, dare I say it, the way they're looking, maybe winning every single game in the Bundesliga. It's a difficult thing to do, but Leverkusen not so long ago managed to be unbeaten throughout the whole season. Bayern certainly have the squad to pull something similar off. On Robert Zieler with the long kick. Köln fans still singing, trying to raise the game of their team. Oh man, I couldn't quite get there. He's obviously just waiting for his moment. He's been a little reserved, as mentioned after his yellow card. Kane's 21st goal in his 14th competitive game this season. It's an incredible amount. Just 2 minutes to be added on. A really good run. Not the best of pullbacks from Marius Bulter. Bulter has provided a few assists this season in the Bundesliga for Köln and a couple of goals. Nothing so far in the cup. Did play in the first round against Jan Regensburg. Eric Martel. Isaac Johannesson scored the goals, 96th and 98th minute. Card for kicking the ball away for Luis Diaz. Referee spotted that. Kompany's not too happy about it, but them's the rules, as they say. Köln have scored 2 goals in all of their last all their recent DFB Cup ties. And they're going to have to score more than that if they're going to beat Bayern today. That's the half-time whistle. And for 5 glorious minutes, Ragnar Acher's goal had Kane, his teammates on the back foot, but it didn't take Bayern long to rearrange things. At the break, it's Köln 1, Bayern München 2. The numbers from the game so far, Bayern with lots of possession, but that's nothing new to anybody. Shots fairly similar. Actually, Köln with more shots on target up against their old, or former keeper, he's not that old. Challenges won, Bayern. Passes completed, Bayern. Distance covered. Well, it's all pretty even right now, but Bayern have got themselves in front. 2 very quick goals, Luis Diaz and Harry Kane. Not a huge surprise to anyone. Those 2 have been putting goals away for fun in the Bundesliga, and they're doing it here too. A great tifo from the home side. Lukas Kwasniok's Köln up against Vincent Kompany's Bayern München, the record DFB Cup winners. But first blood in this game fell to Ragnar Acher, who'd been winning lots of balls in the air. The cross in from Isak Johannesson. Johannesson scored in the first round. This time he turned provider. And when the ball came out just 5 minutes later to Luis Diaz, this is how the referee saw that. Might have been a hint of offside in the build-up, but no VAR in this round of the Cup. And Harry Kane's goal here, superb, absolute world-class, top quality from the England captain to turn and put enough spin on the ball to cause it to curl into the side netting. It's 2-1 at half-time, Bayern in front, but there are 45 minutes to come. Join Patrick Orvalmiela and myself for that if you can. Bye for now.
Patrick, what do you think about this first half? I think this is exactly why we love the Cup, right?
This is everything that we love about the Cup, and it started like a really good story, a really good Cup story where the underdog is overcoming the stronger team. Köln really started strong, especially Ache, all these high balls, he won all these situations, and he was the one then heading that lead for Cologne. But it's Bayern on the other side. They do what they want to do sometimes, and they had a little bit of luck with that first goal. We have no VAR in these rounds. That's why that first goal kept standing. Luis Diaz obviously in offside when Stanisic was giving that ball away. But in the end, it was the quality of Harry Kane leading to that second goal for Bayern, and now they're in the lead. It's going to be a steep climb for Cologne, but if they can find that energy of that first half, maybe they can come back from it.
They turned it around within 2 minutes, and you mentioned Harry Kane, like figure skating on an ice ring this turn. Yeah. It was impressive as always.
It is. I mean, his awareness, where he is, where their goal stands, and what he has to do to get past his defender, it's second to none, not just in the Bundesliga probably. And the way he turned around to the other side, when everybody just would have tried to get a shot off, he turned the other way and curled it in beautifully. That's Harry Kane. That's why we love him. That's why we love to have him in the Bundesliga.
Shots 9-10 means also Cologne, they are courageous, and we talked about a certain level where they have to bring Bayern down to, like, which kind of level are we at the moment?
I think they kind of more rose to Bayern's level than pulled Bayern down, but it wasn't a strong game of Bayern because of the intensity that Cologne produced, but it was a great job the first half. I hope, as I said before, I hope they can find the same kind of energy and maybe produce a little more to let their fans dream.
I think there's more to come, Patrick. Thank you so much. Enjoy, everybody.
Only the best write history.
Harry Kane! Lewandowski!
These are the moments,
And now the dream becomes reality.
when strikers fire themselves into the hearts of fans forever. In the DFB-Pokal, players become legends. Let's meet some iconic forwards and the stories that made them unforgettable. When you talk about legends, one name is unavoidable. Unconventional, unmistakable, unstoppable. Gerd Müller shattered every record in German football. But not everyone thought he'd make it when he joined Bayern as a kid back in 1964.
Trainer für richtig hält, dass sie Verteidiger spielen, dann Spieler verteidigen.
Fortunately, no coach wanted him to, and his goal-scoring instincts set records for eternity. He lifted the trophy 4 times and scored 78 goals in the DFB-Pokal. Many of them were crucial, like his brace in the 1969 final. Bayern beat Schalke to secure their first ever double. Gerd Müller will always be the Bomber. From one Müller to the next.
Cool, calm, clinical.
Thomas Müller is a German football institution. A likeable lad, approachable. The fans love him. He's one of us, with his passion for horses and out on the pitch. A leader, a winner, a goal scorer. Thomas Müller won the DFB-Pokal 6 times with Bayern. His goals are etched in the collective soul of Bayern fans, and one stands out in particular.
And Müller somehow stayed on his feet and slots home Bayern's second goal.
A mazy run for the ages. His winning mentality is stronger than any crown. 15 years in the DFB-Pokal.
It's Thomas Müller's goal.
36 goals. Thomas Müller, forever unforgettable. This is what a winner looks like. He celebrated in yellow.
Lewandowski!
He celebrated in red.
A world-class finish.
Robert Lewandowski dominated the DFB-Pokal, lifting the trophy 4 times. In 2012 with Dortmund, when he scored a hat-trick in the final against Bayern.
5-2, the Lewandowski hat-trick.
Then came 3 more trophies with Bayern. Between 2017 and 2020, he was top scorer 4 years in a row and still holds the record for most goals in finals. Robert Lewandowski, simply a winner. He was one of the most popular German footballers ever, an idol. But Uwe Seeler was much more than just a goal-getter.
Der Uwe hat also da seinen Sport und den Fußball besonders repräsentiert.
He joined Hamburg at the tender age of 7 and remained loyal to the club his entire career, in which he notched up 496 goals for the Northern German Giants. His perhaps most important strikes came in the DFB-Pokal. Seeler scored a hat-trick in the 1963 final against Dortmund as Hamburg won the cup.
Das Spiel ist entschieden, meine Damen und Herren. Der Hattrick ist Uwe Seeler gelungen.
The following year, he became the first ever Bundesliga top scorer. He was World Cup runner-up in 1966, but always remained down to earth. One of us. Uns Uwe, our Uwe. A man with a mission.
Harry Kane with a big game moment.
A match-winning performance in the first round. Harry Kane wants to win this trophy. He's without doubt a world-class striker. He scored on his DFB-Pokal debut.
But now he has made his mark in this grand old tournament.
And after becoming German champion with Bayern, he's now dreaming of the DFB-Pokal. King Kane in the cup, to be continued.
Welcome back to the Rhein-Energie-Stadion in Cologne, Germany. The team from the Cathedral City 2-1 down against the record champions and DFB-Pokal winners. For 5 glorious minutes, Köln were in front, but then Bayern struck. Luis Diaz and Harry Kane, in the space of a couple of minutes, turned joy to sorrow, but there is still 45 minutes to come. Despite the intensity, it's been a very fair game. Some light rain coming down in the stadium now, which will make the pitch slippy for the second half. No changes to tell you of so far. Saeed Al-Mala looking concentrated. His coach likewise. They need to be, if they're to turn this around. Second half gets underway. Köln in the red and white, now kicking from left to right. I'm Phil Bonney, alongside me today, Patrick Obermoyela. Patrick, Köln were in front for 5 minutes. It was short-lived, but it wasn't undeserved.
No, absolutely not. I loved exactly the kind of energy that Cologne produced and brought onto the pitch. And they did the right things, really, to ask questions, especially on Tan Upamecano against Ache with all these high balls. Ache was so strong, and no coincidence that he had it, the lead for Cologne, but Bayern did Bayern things and came back really, really fast. So now Cologne has to find that same energy again.
Well, no team in the Bundesliga has had as many shots on target against Bayern in the first 45 minutes of a game this season as Köln just did.
And here they come again, so maybe they can produce some more.
Maha, away by Pavlovic. Olise putting it out for a corner. Köln have come out with the same kind of enthusiasm that they started the first half. They've obviously talked about it in the break. They need to lift themselves because they've done a good job so far.
They did, and you have to, not let the situation, not let that turnaround pull you down, because you need to stay sharp. You need to stay courageous and brave and do all the right things that you did for a lot of that first half. And of course on the other side is Bayern, and they can hurt you in an instant, and they did now, but just do more of the same. Maybe you get your foot back into the door.
Well, although they didn't see as much of the ball, Bayern had over 60%, but on nearly everything else they were pretty much even.
Yeah, and this is always the case if you play Bayern, and you have to manage to win challenges, to create goal score opportunities, and Cologne did exactly that.
Still 45 minutes to go. Bayern with a single goal advantage. Diaz. far, came straight out to Pavlovic. Makano. Bayern with some tough games coming up. They've got a game against Bayer Leverkusen just down the road, the team here, but it's in Munich. And after that, an away game against Paris Saint-Germain. There's a score to settle there in the Champions League.
But it's also one of the toughest games to play at the moment. And this is obviously a foul situation, and Morcha wants to have a little bit of a discussion about that.
He says he dived. I don't think there was too much in that. What do you think, Patrick?
I think he blocked the legs of Ache, and that's why he kind of tripped him, because he tried to step in front of him. Playing the ball okay, but just to stop the feet from moving, that's not okay.
He claimed it was a fair shoulder charge. The referee thought otherwise. Harrison's in the centre, Kaminski's ball. That was a big appeal for handball. No VAR. It was one that might have touched his hand, but certainly wasn't really a handball. They were big. Ragnar Ache was very high in the air there.
And I think it was Martel also trying to get in that situation.
And of course Jonas Elvig is a former teammate of all of these players, or a lot of these players. There's the possible handball, but I don't think anyone would...
Nah, we don't like that. We don't want that. But this is too much from Ache on Orbich, and then Martel jumps into that situation as well.
He's been winning some fantastic balls in the air today. I mean, he was totally deserving of his goal as well. Ragnar Ache, first one in a Köln shirt.
Yeah, he really worked for it and worked himself into that situation. And his team needs a little bit more of him today as well.
Schmid gone up well for that. Köln have certainly got some aerial power.
Harry Kane went down. I thought he caught a hand or so in the face. And we want to have a look at that. Yeah, that's that swinging arm as Martel went down. This is not a hit, and it's not really in the face. It's more on the side of it, but Harry Kane just wanted to make himself hurt there.
It's also, sometimes those things, not deliberate, but they do make you go, ow.
Yeah, that's true.
Ragnar Ache won the jump, but didn't get the ball.
Well, now we see some high pressure of Cologne, trying to get in possession up high, and they do.
It's well won. Bulter. Ragnar Ache using his strength. Seblanson. Kaminski. We haven't seen too much of Jakub Kaminski today.
He had that big chance though, where he was absolutely free in the box, and but that shot he got off was not a big test for Orbich. But other than that, you're absolutely right. There is hopefully more to come, and now there's a big opening.
A really big opening for Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz one-on-one. Has anybody got the speed to reel him in? No, they haven't, but he hasn't got the targeting to make it 3-1. That could be a big miss for Bayern. What do you reckon?
That could be a big miss for Bayern, but that could have been a really big one for Cologne as well. I mean, you can't leave the door that open if you have Luis Diaz, Harry Kane, and all these other players on the other side. Absolutely lucky here for Cologne.
High risk.
Yeah.
It should have been the third
That
goal.
should have been, must have been, if you wearing a Bayern shirt. But Köln got away with this, and maybe this will be a little bit of momentum for Cologne.
Well, they're protesting every time the ball gets kicked away. I'm not sure that Stanisic was intending to do that, but
yeah, it was Jonathan Tah with that elbow in the back of Bülter. These are physical situations, physical challenges.
no goal as a result of a free kick so far this season for Köln in the Bundesliga. Now would be a good time to start. Kaminski's ball, oh, it's curled delightfully towards Ragnar, and that's another big chance, but this time for Köln.
Yeah, and again, it's Ragnar getting to that ball. Let's see. I mean, the flag stayed down anyway, so what should we talk about it? But he did a little too much there. He tried to head that ball down a little bit, and he did, but way too much. He should have just connected with it and put it into the long corner.
Yeah. Headed
Big
straight
chance.
into the ground. Now Bayern coming up the other end. That's a good challenge, really good challenge from Elgar. Oh, slip from Bülter. He's not going to let that ball get away from him. Tenacious. They've got great drive this season, Köln. There's a certain amount of input that's coming from every player that is of a great level.
That's true. I mean, talking about great levels, the effort and input that Harry Kane has on his team on this match, of course, is also very big, but I like how Elgar on the other side also works really hard. Maybe that takes away a little bit of his efficiency, his effectiveness going forward, especially today where he has to work maybe a little harder than usual in the Bundesliga.
Jonathan Tah kicking that one back, giving Johannesson something to chase. He's been a real find for Köln this season.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. He adds to... Yeah, good goalkeeping there from Robert Zieler.
Very aware of what was going on. Gives it straight to Marchal.
Yeah, Johannesson is really versatile. The places that, the areas that he covers on the pitch defensively and of course offensively as well is really good. He is running, he puts in the right effort, so that's good.
No, that's not passing.
That's a good call though. But now he just offside, just maybe his heel, his Achilles was offside, but this time the refereeing team caught by him.
Lucas Krasniok looking at the tactical plan. Come on, FC is what the fans are shouting. Erbeck had to be very quick down to the near post. Marchal getting the crowd going again. They need this impetus.
Yeah, actually well played there. A little give and go in the box and then direct how Martel tries. That probably would have been wide anyways, but Zovic makes sure there's no threat on this ball. And another corner now.
Bayern will have to keep an eye on Ragnar. That's a great corner. But it went out.
Too bad to give away another opportunity where Bayern has a lot of respect, I feel, with the set pieces and these corners, these free kicks. Bayern is really aware of the threat that these situations can produce. There's a second ball in play, and that's why that game has been stopped once again.
Nearly every side in Germany is an FC football club, FC Bayern, football club Bayern. But Köln particularly are known by that epithet. spell it E-F-F-E-Z.
The Kölsch way.
E-H, yes. Z-E-H in the end. The name reflecting the dialect spoken in this area of the world. Kölsch, it's a language and a drink.
And it's much better spoken if you had that drink before, or a couple of those.
But easier to understand, apparently.
Yeah. For some, it's a dialect. For others in Germany, it's a whole new language, actually.
Keeping his eye on that ball. He's been tugged back by Upamecano there. The referee not interested.
Yeah, I thought there was a little bit of a pull of Upamecano pulling Ache backwards.
And his arms around him, so it seemed, but the referee much better positioned to call that one. 30 goals in the Bundesliga this season, Bayern. The best counter-attacking side, 5 shots per goal. Oh, that was clever by Olise. Tidied up by Martel.
An awkward situation now. I thought Ron Novatzila was not really meant to be this far out his goal, and then I think he got called for a foul there, since Robertsila almost kneeled on that ball and Olise kept kicking it.
He very nearly had it away from all the Köln defenders and their keeper as well. Kimmich tidied that up nicely. Yes. Oh, there's room now for Gnabry. Just didn't break right for him. Now Ragnar Ache. Big. Slice that one. Shoot, they say.
Yeah.
And he wasn't far away from the corner flag, but
I mean, he just went for it with his left foot fully all out. That was not the best connection there from Ulrich, and then he just tried. I mean, what did you say earlier? If you don't shoot,
you don't score. But they need to score. An hour gone.
Yeah, but they have to be careful too now. Bayern had a few opportunities, especially on the counter, where it was a little too open defensively from Cologne's side, and if you give away another one here, that's probably it for today. Referee Tobias Welz thought long about it, but I think it's the right call.
Substitution, Leon Goretzka is going to be brought on. He's coming on for Gnabry. Now that's more of a defensive move because Goretzka is quite a sturdy midfielder, isn't he?
True, absolutely true. But, I mean, Goretzka likes to push forward, and he is that box-to-box player, but he also gives you more stability defensively, because also from Bayern's side, this game isn't over. It's not in the books yet, and Vincent Kompany knows how fast things can turn. With a goal here from Cologne, this is going to be a boiling pot once again, and he probably doesn't want to risk it.
Similarly, Köln going to make a change. Denis Uzembazic. And the other player to come on is Cenk Eskadash. Fresh legs for the home side. Are they going to need them? Olise. Kimmich. Kimmich's ball looking for Luis Diaz, and he almost found him.
Well, now Bayern on the front foot again, trying to get something here, but can be caught on the counter now.
Bulcher's ball into Ragnar Ache's feet. Oh, Said Al-Mala for the first time in a position to possibly do some damage.
And now Olise and Pavlovic calm things down again. Bayern in the build-up.
Harry Kane can shoot with either foot, head, knee, thigh, calf. He can pretty much score with anything.
Yeah, and if he uses somebody else to deflect the ball, I think he can also do that. But this time didn't work out for him. He has a lovely little head chip ball into that danger area, but Ron-Robert Zieler fully aware of the situation and got in between the ball and Luis Diaz. Now it's Bayern with the next corner.
So Kimmich gives a signal. It's a goal. Guess who? There is only one player that scores those kind of headed goals and makes them look so easy. Harry Kane does it again. It's 3-1 now, and Köln can feel the game ebbing away from them.
Yeah, and must be too frustrated. You have to defend it better. But on the other side, it looks really easy, but there's a lot of thought behind it and physicality, of course. It's Harry Kane getting away from Tom Kraus in that situation. And Ron-Robert Zieler was a little blocked from Pavlovic, so he couldn't step up immediately. And there it was a very open Harry Kane right in front the goal, right in front of Ron-Robert Zieler to head this ball in.
Marius Bulcik coming off, Denis Uzunbazic coming on, Cengiz Kudash coming on. And Said El-Mala coming off. Wasn't his game today, but he will have others.
He will have others. He is the future. Hopefully for this club, maybe for a few others, but he is a very interesting player. But today it wasn't his. You're absolutely right.
Köln needs something of a miracle right now to put Bayern off their stride. Let's talk a bit about Harry Kane. What a player! What a player! There you go. That was it.
All set. That's the conversation about him.
Just amazing the way he makes things look so simple. The way he fought for space to get that header, and he's a real team player as well. He'll drop back. He'll defend. He'll pick the ball up in midfield.
He's everywhere on the pitch, and he just checks all the boxes and more.
Pavlovic, strong run from him, and there's room now. Kimmich, Reimer, Olise. Oh, that took a deflection, could have been really nasty. All it is, though, is a corner, as far as Köln are concerned.
The body language now totally different with Cologne. It is tough if you're having that kind of first half, and then suddenly you go into halftime and you're goal behind, even though you didn't do too much wrong.
As long as it was just one goal, they still felt they had a chance, but now it's two. They've got to get back to even hope to push it to extra time and penalties. But they're getting more and more pressured. Tantar with an effort.
Question is, are you going to keep the score now? Are you trying things still? The risk and reward now is, of course, it's a little different balanced for Cologne.
Well, the last time they met, it finished 8-0. They're already doing better because they've scored. Becomes a mission in terms of control for Bayern, not letting Köln have the ball, not letting them attack, frustrating them, just coasting home for the next 20 minutes or so.
This is one of the biggest qualities of Bayern, that cat and mouse play. that build-up here. We have another look on that. Great save, actually, from one Robert Zieler. That ball would have been in the net if it wasn't for him. Great save with the left paw of his. No, but Bayern is so good in controlling these situations when they're in the lead. They're also good when they have to chase, but this is where they are really like pinnacle, like really the top of the mountain. Just controlling the game, the pace, what's happening.
It's a Bayern quality that they've had for some time. Something they need to exercise, because not every game is going to be an easy game. Certainly the game in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain, they will need everything they've got.
Yeah, that's true, but they can also do this. I mean, even if they're not the classic David in this game, if they're not the Goliath, that's the term I was looking for in that matchup, they still manage to really feel comfortable in these kind of situations and produce their own strength from it. So we'll see. But in the Bundesliga and of course in the DFB-Pokal, they're usually the stronger team, and they play that card so well. So it's a little different approach now also from Cologne. I think they felt it too, that Ache is running a little bit out of juice, I felt. So these long balls, he wasn't winning all the situations anymore.
Certainly not as sharp as he was in the first 45.
That's why they try differently, try to build up really with combination football.
And they do have players like Florian Kainz and Linton Miner on the bench. They've got some speed. They got some speed.
They got not the physicality of Ache. So maybe that's the build-up for these kind of substitutions.
Luca Waldschmidt is also on the bench today. And I wonder how long now Vincent Kompany will wait to make a change as well. I think the pitch is quite slippy, and there's a lot of rain been coming down recently. Zembazic. Not seen too much of the ball since he's come on. It's a little better. Bayern have seemed to have slowed down somewhat. Köln playing the ball around nicely between themselves. Schmieds. Put it back towards Leimer, who's put it out for a throw in.
Yeah, I mean, that's energy management now from Bayern, of course.
Now here's the thing. Wiesbaden were 2-0 down against Bayern. They came back. They got 2 goals.
And that's, I mean, I said it in the very beginning. There is always something that Bayern offers, but you have to be willing and able to grab and hold on to it once they do.
20 minutes to go. They might have the chance. If they can get something soon, who knows what could happen. Let them at least say have that. Bayern on the counter. Luis Diaz chops it into Olise. It's 4. That's Bayern. That's pure Bayern counter-attacking going on there. They're the top counter-attacking side in the Bundesliga, and they're probably the top counter-attacking side in the DFB-Pokal so far. It's now 4-1 to the record cup holders.
Yeah, and this is a real masterclass of how you really seal the deal, how you really put the last nail into the coffin of your opponent and just rob them of all their belief. Again, way too easy. It was an offensive situation of Cologne that turned into this nightmare. Here's that situation. It's not a good one-on-one situation from Seblonson against Olise, who is really clever, of course, in these one-on-one situations. And then there you have it. It's Pavlovic on that right wing and Luis Diaz speeding up over that left wing and then being this unselfish to find Ulisse at centre. Brilliant football.
That's teamwork. That's pure Bayern teamwork. He could have shot, he could have gone for goal himself, Luis Diaz, but he went for the 100% pass into the centre. That was basically an elaborate tap-in for Ulisse.
Yeah, it turned from a, let's say, 68-70% chance to a 95% chance with that pass back. And not many strikers go for that because they're selfish. They want to score. But not so Luis Diaz. He is willing to share the happiness with his teammate Ulisse.
The travelling Bayern fans are sharing that happiness as well. It's always worth following Bayern away because you're going to get some great games.
Especially this season, I would say. Never disappointed so far.
Tom Kraus looks as if picked up something there. I mean, Köln have got some big games as well coming up. They've got Hamburg at the weekend, visiting here, the team that came up with them out of Bundesliga 2, and then an away game against their arch rivals, Borussia München-Gladbach.
Yeah, here's a super slow-mo on that goal. Again, Robert Zieler has to go all the way around Pavlovic, who blocks him a little bit. Harry Kane gets off Tom Kraus there just to find that little bit of space, and that's just a little matter of time. There's another look. It was close, that ball. I think it was still somewhat on the line with a little bit of it. And then it's well played from Pavlovic. It's even better played from Luis Diaz, and it's a world-class counter-attack finish from Michael Ulisse.
Quarter of an hour to play. Florian Kainz comes on in place of Tom Kraus. Kainz, who had the captain's armband for some time, a couple of seasons back. Austrian, 33 last Friday. And they'll be hoping that Kraus will be able to play at the weekend because the Bundesliga will keep ticking on. And if they continue playing the way they have been this season, they're not going to be in any danger of going down. Yes, Bayern have had more of the ball, won slightly more of the challenges, but Köln have not been out of this completely, but the quality of the Bayern side has been the difference again.
Yeah, Bayern was willing to let Cologne come up high on the pitch and use that room that created for Bayern then. But you're absolutely right, it's not a bad game of Cologne. It's just that on the other side there's a team that punishes you whenever you make mistakes or offer a little bit too much, and they do it with so much quality that it's really the smallest of errors will be penalized here from Bayern.
Kane's second goal was the 50th goal in all competitions for Bayern so far this season. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, it could be one of these memorable seasons. They're really on the way to produce that.
Now, speaking of memorable, remember where you were when you heard this young man's name. Lennart Karl is coming on. Born in 2008. He has scored a couple of absolute crackers recently, one in the Champions League and one in the Bundesliga. Looks to have a massive career ahead of him, wearing the number that used to be that of Jamal Musiala.
Yeah, but I don't think he needed that jersey to be that kind of player that he is, even though there's a little bit of that Musiala magic in his feet as well.
It certainly is. Two distance goals of absolute top quality. Köln about to make a couple more substitutions. Linton Miner and Luka Waldschmidt. They're just going to throw all their forwards on and see if they can get anything, because they might as well. He might as well lose 5-1.
And I like that. I mean, what's there to lose now? I mean, you're
out of
already
the cup for this season, so you might as well try
to produce a wonder here.
Yeah, what our American friends would call the a Hail Mary pass equivalent. So, Lennart Karl on for consider that he's only 1m68. It's about 5'6", 5'7". Certainly got some talent, that's for sure.
Yeah, not just talent. I mean, really good vision on the pitch. He has that left foot of his. But he has some physicality. That low point of gravity, that low center of gravity gives him an advantage sometimes.
Johannesson comes off. Luca Waldschmidt, Linton Miner. In poker terms, Köln going all in now.
Yeah, and they have to. We said it before, what's there to lose now? Just throw all the cards on the table, but don't throw all of you in the back of Harry Kane like this. Eric Martel again down. Fell over the back of Harry Kane, and then
that can sometimes end nastily, but I think both of them are going to be all right.
I think that left hand of Martel suffered a little bit. He was the one getting caught with the foul.
Possibly flatters Bayern ever so slightly, but only ever so slightly, because they are just so economic with their chances. When they get them, they take them pretty much.
Yeah, they weren't 3 goals better or deserving of a 3-goal win. I have to say that, because Cologne really did do a lot of good things, but the quality, individual quality that Bayern have up front, and how they scored the goals,
I think there's no question that Bayern are certainly worth the win. But this is what Bayern do. They will punish you. You make the mistakes. You said it yourself.
Yep.
If you don't score the goals when you can, they will score the goals when they can.
This is also something where you can learn from. I mean, playing these kind of teams is always something where you learn, and you have to take that as a learning lesson.
Side with a lot of confidence, Köln. They don't look to be in any danger of getting involved in the relegation battle. But things do go awry.
I don't think this will have a mental effect on Cologne, and they will suffer from it and take that into the Bundesliga. I don't think so.
Oh, that's a good run. Linton Miner double teamed, and it's not even a corner.
He showed a little bit of the speed, and there's a little bit of holding down that arm, but not enough, and then Lima finishes the situation off with a little push. Great to see this team chemistry there between Lima and Upamecano.
Now, we talked about him a lot already. 2 goals, 5 shots. Harry Kane, what an incredible acquisition he's been for them. This English goal machine.
Yes, I mean, out of words to describe how good Harry Kane really is and what he meant to Bayern and the Bundesliga since he joined.
Well, there was a lot of playful stuff about him. Couldn't get any trophies, etc., etc. But what he gets at Bayern is incredible service. They know exactly how he functions and know where to give him the ball.
Yeah, it would be unfair now that it's just his teammates. I think the Bundesliga, the style of play from Bayern, the style of play in the Bundesliga, that all suits him really well. And also sometimes it's just the change of of your surrounding, just a change of the environment that gives you a little bit of a boost and lets you play different. So it's maybe also that Harry Kane has gotten better since he came into the Bundesliga, just because he finally stepped out of that Tottenham, London.
Sometimes a change certainly can revitalise or just change your way of looking at things, and he seems very happy in Germany.
He does seem happy, and he makes Bayern happy as well.
He certainly does. There's free kick. Referee tried to let play continue.
There's another situation where the whole stadium plus 11 players down on the pitch are thinking differently.
Which nearly got that under control. Leonard Carl even touched the ball so far. That's about 5 times. Message stealing the ball. Is too slippy, too fast to help Köln in that situation.
It's unfortunate that heavy touch of Lund after Cologne won that ball.
They've won it again. Waldschmidt. Now Schmid. Martel. Oh, that expression, where do I play the ball? Nobody really moving any space. And the referee thought about that. Yellow card for Upamecano.
I think it's about time. He was really working hard to get there. It's a little unlucky, but he only gets the foot.
Triple change coming up for Bayern. Nicholas Jackson. Rafael Guerrero and Sasha Boy.
It's also more trouble approaching.
That's, yeah, storm clouds on the horizon. First, free kick. Taken away. Florian Kainz. Minutes to play, plus some change. Kainz's cross drops too early, hits the first defender. Minor. Waldschmidt. Oh, it's gorgeous. Really good. Off the post and into the hands of Urbing. That's it. Köln can go home now. It's not going to work for them at all, is it? No. That kind of play was so great, but then when the god of football's against you, my goodness.
Beautiful, beautiful, but the goalpost didn't play along accordingly to plan here for Linsenmeiner. Does he get to that ball, Luis Diaz?
He was always going to get barged off there.
But I mean, I just have to say, there's a ball played that deep. First of all, let's look at this situation. Good stuff between Meiner and Waldschmidt, and in the end, maybe an inch missing, more to the inside, and this ball is in for a second goal for Cologne, and some more energy in the stadium.
So Harry Kane is coming off. No hat-trick for Kane today. That must be an unusual sensation for him. He seems to score a hat-trick every other game. 2 great goals. The first one, absolutely stunning. The second one, a real number 9's goal. Luis Diaz also coming off. Guerrero taking his place. Manuel Neuer applauding. thoughts of the upcoming game against Leverkusen. Dahom. Not sure I pronounced that right, but you know what I was saying. At home.
I absolutely understood there. Yeah.
I'm sure there are Bavarians everywhere quaking with how on earth did he pronounce that? But yeah, they'll be at home. Sacha Bouillon has played every game of the Bundesliga and has appeared in their first round. Got an assist against Wien Wiesbaden. But hasn't scored in the Bundesliga or the DFB-Pokal this season.
A little bit of a small. There's a nice look on that situation that Tobias Welz, that refereeing cam.
The ref cam's quite something, isn't it?
Gives you a real inside look on situations.
Cut out by Joel Schmid. Another one of the new faces Köln this season, along with Sebastian Sebulonsson. They've really reinforced themselves very well, Köln, for their trip into the Bundesliga. Guerrero. Jackson knocks it on. Karl. Now Ragnar Achers looking across. That'll be a free kick.
But no chance to play this
made
quick.
That great run, but no chance to play it, as you said. Just about to go up with the extra time. It'll be 4 minutes added on. Referee got in the way, so that'll be a drop ball from him for the team that was in possession, which was Bayern. There's confirmation. Touches. 17 years of age, his whole career in front of him. Exciting times for Bayern fans, having someone like that to follow from a very early age on.
Yeah, it just adds to the excitement. I mean, the way the team is playing this year, the kind of talent that sits on the bench or is on the pitch and is just waiting to be fully unleashed. It's incredible and could mean really something for the upcoming years. And who knows?
A little bit of a nervous moment for Upamecano. Jonathan Tah's ball almost left him in no man's land. Speed of Linton Miner coming charging towards you. Good turn. Limer's played brilliantly today. Jackson went over in the box, but not really anything to impress the referee.
Just a little bump by the hip in the right moment, not enough to call this a penalty. There you have it. It's a slight touch, the upper body as well, but I'm actually quite okay with the way this refereeing team handled this game, other than that goal of Luis Diaz where he clearly was offside before. That was actually so obvious, even without the VAR. A referee assistant should have been able to spot that out, and it really changed the momentum of everything. It was just 5 minutes after the lead, took that momentum away of Cologne and gave it back to Bayern, and that certainly turned this whole game around.
One last hurrah from the Südkurve. just the Zuid as it's known in this city. Songs written about it in the local dialect, of course. Big noise. Looking a little tired now. I think he's worked very hard in the middle at the back for Köln.
And I actually like how the Cologne fans, it's kind of a salute to their own team and to the effort they put into the hard work that the team put in. They know that it was way closer than the result up on the scoreboard. And of course they know against Bayern it's probably not going to happen.
But at the same time, they appreciate the input from the players. I don't think there's a player out there you'd look at and say he hasn't tried his hardest. Ragnar pushes it for Waldschmidt, fresh legs. Waldschmidt's all on his own. He's going to have to go through them all. He tried. Minor lurking on the other side. Kainz gets it to Lonson. Kainz gets it again, little flick. Lonson. That's it. Referee blows for time. It's another Bayern victory. It's another Harry Kane masterclass. It's another full time in the DFB-Pokal. The final score: Köln 1, Bayern 4. Ever so slightly flattering for Bayern, but I think 3-1 would have been a fair enough score.
Yeah, somewhere between a 2-1 and a 3-1 win would have been the fair result.
Great to see a stadium as alive as this one. Handshakes all round. I don't think any of the coaches would have any problem with everything. Obviously the two coaches with a word or two for each other. It is Bayern, and they are tough to beat. These are the numbers from the game. Nearly 60% possession, that was how it was pretty much right from the get-go. But the shots, you know, this is where you look at it. The shots on target, distance covered, the amount of corners, they were very even. They gave Bayern a good run for their money.
They gave Bayern a really good game. It's really something to think about in many situations. But the quality, the individual quality in those crucial situations in front of goal, it's where Bayern is.